everyone, this is Ahmed Hegazy from SEG CAD Solutions. Today, inshallah, we will make a demo for pressure vessel by using an Access database file, which exported from BVL software. We will open the Access database file and try to read the information inside this file before creating it by using SEG software, and check some important points regarding names and nozzle size. The first point, you should check the names of each element. It should be a unique name, not repeated names, and the name shouldn't include any legal characters like backslash, double dot, question mark. So the names shouldn't include a character like this. Okay, now let's imagine the main elements of this equipment. Here, as you can see, you have first element is the right head, which is from node 10 to 20. Another shell. After that, another head. Now you have, after this head, which is the right head, you have two other heads. That means those heads should be connected to another element. You will not find in real case a head connected to another two heads by that way. So let's go to the end of this table right here, and for this column, which parent nozzle, you will find that this nozzle connected to B1, B01, and the second head connected to B02. That means both of those heads connected to two other nozzles, okay, as a boot head. You will find here another blind flanges. Okay, that means those SEG will understand them as a flange after a head, but in actual case it should be connected to a nozzle. So if we come back here, you will find that no mention here for a nozzle for this blind flange, and that's one of mistakes in the Access database file which exported from BVL. So no information here regarding the type of this flange or how it for which element it will be connected. That means here SEG will automatically put it after the right head. Okay, so the final element as the main elements of the head, which is right head, all of those flanges will be listed on the tree after the right head. Okay, so we will update that or modify that after importing the information in SEG. Now let's check the nozzles. So when we come here, you should check all names and they should be unique, as mentioned, no repeated names and no illegal characters. Now for the nominal diameter of the nozzle. As mentioned many times, the nominal diameter should be in imperial case, not in millimeter. So we will make a modification for those values manually. So let's make this as 8 inches, 10 inches, 24 inches, 20 inches, 24, 24. Here for those sizes greater than 24 inches, it should be related, if you have a connected flange, it should be related to ASME P16.47 Series A or Series B, but here on the Access database file, no mention for that. So SEG will be confused about that. So we will make a trick here by changing the size to another size. After that, we will modify it in SEG to make it as a standard size with 36 inches flange. So let's modify this value and make it 18 right now. After that, we will modify it on SEG. Now we have a 50, so it's 2 inches, 4 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 4, 2, 2. Now we modify all information for the nozzles and make the nominal diameter in imperial format. Now we can close this Access database file. And now let's open SEG software, and from here let's create a new project as BVL model. And from here let's import this Access database file. So from here let's import the Access database file. Sorry. After that, click Finish to create this project. Now we have this project, and from here let's right click and select Import, and select Import Access File from PVL. Now as you can see, you will receive this dialog box which inform you that the units should be in millimeter and the nozzle size should be in imperial. So you have those notifications and you should follow them. Now let's accept this, and now we can import the file. So from here let's go to this folder and import the Access database file. Now when you click import, SEG will inform you that this vessel is a horizontal vessel, and if you would like to change the orientation you can click on no, or if you would like to accept, just click yes. Now during the importing you will find that the first shell course length with that name, the longitudinal welding line orientation is at 0, the default, because as you know in BVL no mention for the welding lines orientation. Sorry. But in SEG you can modify that during importing the elements. Now let's accept the values without changing. So all values we will accept them. After that we can make the modification manually. Now SEG import all elements on SEG3, and let's check that. Here we have the lift head, which is the first element that we have, another shell here which is shell 1, and we have 3 nozzles connected to this shell. Another shell, we have another 2 nozzles connected to this shell. And one of the main points that I would like to mention, so let's open the Access database file again to compare the values here. So from the Elements tab, as mentioned, here for this nozzle, which is B01 sump head, as you can see, it's connected to B01 nozzle. So from here, if you take a look at this one, here we have this nozzle, which is B01 nozzle. We have a sump head here connected to this nozzle. And by the way, we mentioned that the size greater than 24, we change it to 18. After that, we will modify it in SEG itself. So from here, you can come here and select the suitable size, which is, let's say, 33 inches, okay, and change the thickness and make all modifications that you would like to do. Or if you would like to make this nozzle as a nozzle from plate, you can do that. So, and click save. Now we will do the same thing with B2. So let's change the size to 36 inches and click on save. Now we have 2 other nozzles here with the same size, which is 18, which is 12C and 12D. We need to change the size of those nozzles besides the size of the flange. Now, so when you select this one, let's change the size of the nozzle to 36 and click on save. And from here, which is the flange connected to this one, let's select it, and from here let's select weld neck raised face flange according to SMAP 16.47 series A, and change the rating, change the size to 36, for example, change the end thickness, so you can modify your dimensions like that from here. So let's do the same thing with 12D, change the size, and if you would like to make it as a nozzle from plate, you can do that by selecting it from here, okay, as a nozzle from plate, and modify the dimension. But let's make it as a nozzle from pipe with 36 inches and click on save. do the same changes on the nozzle. So let's select series A, select the rating and the schedule, and change the end thickness of the flange and click on save. Okay, now we have, as you can see, if we minimize those checkboxes here, you will figure that we have the main elements of the vessel as mentioned here on the main elements. So let's come back here. You will have the main elements from the right head up to the left head, and those two heads, which is B01 sump head and B02 sump head, connected to another nozzles. But the blind flanges will be come after the right head. So let's take a look here. As you can see, this right head will followed by blind 12F, okay, and blind 12A will be connected to 12F, and that's not the right case. Okay, this blind actually connected to another flange. So let's find 12F here. Okay, so we have a 12F here. Okay, and we have another blind with as a 12F. So let's take a copy from this blind flange with the connected nozzle and come here to the external connection and click on paste. Okay, so now if you open this extended point, you will find that you take a copy from this blind flange with a nozzle to be connected to this flange. Now we will select this blind flange and make it flipped and click on save. Now let's delete the 12F from here, because we take a copy from it at top, which is this one. Okay, and you can, by the way, you can make a rename for this one by changing the name of this one directly from here and click rename. The same you can do it for the nozzle by that way, so you can make it like that. Okay, so you can make a change for the node easily from this form. Now we have another blind flange which is 12A. So let's take a copy from 12A, take a copy like that, and find 12A, which is this one, and select this external connection point and click on paste. Okay, now let's delete 12A from here and take the this one, which is this blind flange connected to 12A, and make it flipped. And now let's make a rename for it like that. And if you would like to make a rename for all nodes of this one, you can do that. Now let's take another blind, which is 12B. So let's take a copy from 12B copy and come up here to find 12P in 10, 12E, 12B. So let's make a paste here for this blind with all connected nozzles and delete 12B from down right here. And here we have 12B, so let's select it and make it flipped like that. As mentioned, you can make a rename for it from here, so we can delete that and rename this node. Now we still have another two blind flanges, 12E, so let's take a copy from 12E and take a look for 12E, which is that one, and click on paste and delete the previous one. Okay, and for 12E, sorry, let's make it as a flipped blind flange. And the last one, which is 13, so let's take a copy from 13 and make paste for this blind flange here and delete this one like that. And for nozzle 13, let's flip the blind flange. Now let's make some little changes. on the welding lines orientation for the shell plates. So for the first shell plate, let's change the orientation to be 45 degrees. And for the second one, let's make it 350. Okay, for the third shell, let's make it 45 degrees and save. And for the last shell, let's make it 350. Okay, and for the last head, we will flip the direction of this head. Now, before running the model on Autodesk Inventor, let's make one more point, which is tree save. Tree save option will make some calculations on the SEG tree nodes and make a saving for those calculations before start creation on Autodesk Inventor. This step is very important before proceeding the creation of elements on Autodesk Inventor. Okay, now let's start creating the assembly by clicking on Start Assembly, and now let's check Autodesk Inventor. One more thing I would like to mention it here for those blind flanges, no mention if they are standard flanges or not, and the dimensions of the flanges not complete dimension that you can create it on SEG in a right way. So we make some modifications on that to make it make sense a little bit. Here, as you can see, we try to generate the 3D model of this file. As you can see here for this nozzle, which is N12. So let's stop the assembly for a second. And for nozzle N1, as you can see, it's a heli-side nozzle. But if you check the this file here, you will not find any information mentioned you that it's a heli-side nozzle, and the only thing here it's the orientation of or the layout angle. So we can make a modification for this nozzle by hand by making it as a heli-side nozzle and modify this orientation to make it 90 degree and make it clockwise or counterclockwise. So let's modify this value and click on start to modify the orientation of this nozzle to make it a heli-side nozzle with 90 degrees. Now let's complete the other nozzles creation. Okay, now we have the 3D model already done in SEG, and we would like to make some modification like adding a gasket between those blind and flange. For example, for this nozzle, we would like to add a gasket between this flange and this blind. So from here, let's select the size of this flange is 24. So from here, let's select other and select a gasket in 12A gasket. Okay, and this gasket, yes, let's select it here and make it as according to ASME 16.5. Select the size, and now let's move it after the flange 12A. So from move, let's move after and select the flange. Now, as you can see, here we have this blind will be connected to the gasket before the flange. Now, when you click on Start Assembly, we will get here, if we take a section, as you can see, we have a gasket here between the blind and the flange. Okay, thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.